So you've probably heard about the comments made at a NATO conference by our incompetent, drunken Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Now, I'm not going to cover what this idiot said, but suffice it to say that he made a complete ass of himself. He looked like a blithering idiot. He undermined the position of the United States on the world stage. Of course, though, he was doing Trump's bidding when he did that. But what I want to talk about here is how the Republicans in the Senate who voted for this piece of garbage are responsible for this. Because they completely abdicated their responsibilities in advising and consenting to any nominations. They refused to do that. They refused to effectively exercise their authority to screen these nominees for incompetence, bias, lack of character, and for any other reason why they should not be confirmed. Not these Republicans. They weren't going to do that. They weren't going to exercise that responsibility because they are part of the cult. Or at the very least, those who aren't part of the cult, they're afraid of Trump's cult. And they dare not stand against Trump for fear of the cult. And one senator that I want to highlight here is a man named Roger Wicker. And he came out and criticized our drunken defense secretary for what he said at this conference. And he said, quote, "I don't know who wrote the speech. It's the kind of thing Tucker Carlson would have written, and Carlson is a fool." So said Republican Senator Roger Wicker. Wicker went on to say, "Everybody knows, and people in the administration know, you don't say before your first meeting what you will agree to and what you won't agree to." First of all, Roger, people in the administration, see, he's got to throw that in there. He's got to try to separate his criticism of the drunken defense secretary from Donald Trump and the administration. He wants to put all of this on Pete Hegseth. The truth of the matter is, Roger Wicker might be disappointed in what Pete Hegseth said, but Donald Trump is not. He said exactly what Trump wanted him to say. And that's the thing that people like Roger Wicker need to be reminded of, and they're not going to get away with whitewashing their role in this. This is Trump. You voted for this, Wicker. You voted for the criminal piece of garbage in the White House, and you voted to confirm his patsy, this drunken fool, as defense secretary. But you don't get to separate Hegseth from Trump. Hegseth is Trump. Hegseth will never step out of line with Trump. If Hegseth says it or does it, then that's exactly what Trump wants him to say or do. So don't do this, "Oh, everybody in the administration knows." Are you kidding me? So he says everyone in the administration knows. You don't say before your first meeting what you will agree to and what you won't agree to. Hey, Wicker, have you been paying attention to your Orange God King the last couple of days? He's already telling Vladimir Putin and the rest of the world what the United States wants to see in terms of a resolution between Ukraine and Russia, and that is Russia gets everything they want. Trump has already taken NATO membership off the table, territory, already saying that Russia gets to keep the territory that they illegally seized during this war, already in advance of any negotiations. So what the hell are you talking about, Wicker? The administration knows you don't say before your first meeting what you will and will not agree to. That's exactly what Trump has already done. I can't stand these friggin' Republicans who went along with this. And they figure, look, we'll just rubber stamp all his appointments, and that way we don't suffer the wrath of the cult. We don't have to worry about our careers being ended by a tweet from Donald Trump. We don't need to worry about death threats from his cult. We could just confirm these people, and then, but it's not our fault. Whatever they do afterwards, it's not our fault. We didn't approve of that. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, you did. Yeah, when you vote to confirm a man who was a known alcoholic. And by the way, he promised if you confirmed him, he'd stop drinking, right? Well, you care, Roger, to tell me what the hell I'm looking at here. Here's Pete Hegseth. Let me see if I can open it up. Tell me what he's doing right here.
You have focused on what Ukraine is
what is he
giving
going
up.
for?
What concessions will
What's he
Putin
got?
be asked to
Oh,
make?
what is that? Was that a sip of bourbon, maybe? Let's see that again. What was this? What is this right here, Roger?
Be asked to make.
Who? What? Are you freaking kidding me? Roger? You voted for an alcoholic who appears to be drinking whiskey at a NATO conference at the podium. Now, I don't know for sure, but let me tell you this, too. While we're on the subject of our drunken-ass defense secretary, Terry, apparently drinking at the podium, where's the media and all this? Okay, like I said, I don't know that that's bourbon. I don't know what the hell that is. Looks like bourbon. Maybe it's iced tea. Of course, I've never seen anyone sip iced tea like that, but I don't know what it is. But given the fact that he's a known drunk, it's certainly a good question to ask what the hell that was. So where's the press? This man's drunkenness and alcoholism was a central part of his confirmation hearings just, a couple weeks ago? And now he appears, maybe he's drinking alcohol at the podium at a NATO conference? Where's the media? The media should be all freaking over this, demanding to know what that is. I don't hear too much about it. Can you imagine if Joe Biden had nominated an alcoholic weekend talk host from MSNBC to be defense secretary, and within the first couple weeks of him getting the job, he looked to be drinking bourbon at a NATO conference? What do you think the media would be doing today? But no, we don't hear shit. Anyway, let me return. How do I get out of this full screen thing here? Okay. Blah, blah. Anyway, so that's what we have. And that's what Roger Wicker and all of these Senate Republicans voted for. And they don't get to wash their damn hands. We now have a drunk who maybe looks like he's drinking again. Is it off the wagon or on the wagon? I never get that right. Anyway, looks like he's drinking. Roger Wicker, you own this. And every one of you damn Republicans who voted for him, you own whatever he does. Whatever this man does, you own. Same for RFK. Same for Tulsi Gabbard. When Tulsi Gabbard takes our national security secrets and walks them directly over to the Kremlin and plops them at Vladimir Putin's feet, that's on you. Every one of you damn Republicans who voted for her, every one of you damn Republicans who voted for all of these unqualified hacks, all of it's on you. How unqualified are these people? I don't know. What could they possibly do? Oh, Mark, it can't be that bad. Oh, yeah? How about this? Trump officials fired nuclear staff, not realizing they oversee the country's weapons stockpile. I'm sure you've probably seen that. Trump administration officials fired more than 300 staffers Thursday night at the National Nuclear Security Administration, the agency tasked with managing the nation's nuclear stockpile, as part of broader Energy Department layoffs, according to 4 people with knowledge of the matter. Sources told CNN the officials did not seem to know this agency oversees America's nuclear weapons. So we have the Trump administration just firing people left and right. These incompetent fools don't even take the time to figure out who it is they're even firing. What these agencies that they're attempting to just close and fire people from en masse, what they even do. They didn't even know that this agency deals with our nuclear weapons. And they just go in there and start firing everybody. And, of course, not that they'll ever hear about this on Fox News, but the Fox News crowd, the MAGA cult, they're just cheering. Every person that's laid off, every program that gets cut. illegally, unconstitutionally. They just cheer all of it. These idiots have no idea what they're doing to this country. There are real-world, deadly serious consequences to putting such grossly incompetent and unserious people in these extremely serious positions inside of our government. And we are all going to suffer the consequences for this. We are all going to suffer the consequences of the stupidity and the unseriousness of the blithering idiots we are surrounded by in this country. Good job, America. Way to go.